All right, hey everybody, and welcome to Site Review Tuesday. It just feels really weird saying that. Usually it's welcome to Zenfolio Live. But hey, thanks guys for hanging out with us today and jumping on here. We're switching things up, doing site reviews a little bit differently, like I was talking about the last week. So hey, if this is your first time jumping on here and hanging out with us, make sure you say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're from. And hey, if you want your site reviewed, we are going to do 3 site reviews today. 2 are going to come from our backlog, but one of the sites that we're going to review today is going to come from you guys, and there's a link to where you can submit that in the description below the video, and I can also ask if Katie would throw that link out in the chat for you guys. But hey, this is how it's going to work today. We're going to review 3 sites. Each website's going to get 15 minutes per review. The third site, like I said, is going to come from you guys in the chat, so make sure you get your website in that submission form, and we're going to be giving points. It's all for fun. We're not really keeping score or anything like that. Let me say hi to a couple of you guys in chat. We've got Craigslist hanging out with us. I bet Craigslist has been gone on a vacation to Hawaii or something crazy. That dude's always in Hawaii, but thanks for jumping back on here and hanging out with us. Megan Catherine Portrait saying great. Sounds like she's having a good week so far. And then we've got Carrie White saying hi. Thank you for offering this. Hey, thanks for coming on here and hanging out with us today, you guys. Taking care of you guys in chat. I've got Katie helping me out. Make sure that you guys show her some love. And then, as I told you earlier, we're going to be giving away something special. So today we're going to be giving away a $25 print credit. That's going to go right into your Zenfolio account. You can use this to order prints. You can use this for whatever you want to buy within your Zenfolio account. And all you have to do is pay attention. And I'm going to ask some question during the stream somewhere later on, and be the first person to respond in the chat with the answer. And we're going to send you that $25 print credit. So to get things started, I need you guys to do me a favor. Help me pick the first site to be reviewed. Pick a number between 1 through 49 and throw that number in the chat for me, and that's going to help determine the site that we're going to review. So right now, throw a 1 through a 49, a number in between there somewhere. Throw it out in the chat. That's going to help me pick that site. My random site selector thing broke my streaming software last time, so I have to rebuild that. So we're going to be letting you guys pick these sites. All right, looks like Joaquin said number 44. Thanks for paying attention, Joaquin. We're going to get started with that here in a second. So let me go ahead and just jump over to my main screen here, and let's go grab site 44. So let me see what site that is really quick. All right, so let me grab that website, number 44. All right, and let's see what site that is. Okay, so that is going to be let me get it opened up here, you guys. All right. Dragging it over here, and that is ktphotography.gallery. So let me get this down here so you guys can see the full site, and then we'll start that review here in a second. So this is the full site. It's ktphotography.gallery. That's the site that we're doing the review on right now. We're going to get 15 minutes up on the clock, and we're going to start this review. All right, here we go, and let's get that review time going. All right, so starting here on the homepage, I like this layout. A lot of times I'm not a huge fan of the grid layout, but when it's done really well and nice and clean, I think it flows really nicely. So one of the things I really love is I love this logo up here. I think it's really nice. This little color right here adds to it. It just looks fantastic. One of the things that you could do is maybe do a smaller version to this down here, maybe do a little smaller version of this and put that up here in the favicon, just to kind of add this, make it a little bit more customized feeling. But I really like this logo. I think it would look cool to have that up there. Not a deal breaker, but just something to mention. All right, so we have several site menu items that we're going to get to these here in a second. So far, I think you've got some beautiful images. I'm going to give you a point for your layout. I think it's nice and clean. I like the way it works. But the one thing that I'm missing here is this a photographer that I can hire? Are you in my area? Let's see how long it takes me to figure that out. All right, so we're going to kind of scroll down here. Lots of beautiful photos, though, you guys. Now, one of the things that I'm a little on the fence with, and you guys let me know in chat, is the watermarks over the homepage images, right? I'm on the fence with this. Part of me is like, yes, I totally understand why they're there, because people will watermark your photo, or not watermark, people will screenshot your photos, and it seems like there is nothing you can do sometimes to stop that. So that's why the watermarks are nice. But is this the best presentation right out the gate for visitors to your website, having your images watermarked here on the homepage? It is possible to have images shown on your homepage that don't have watermarks, and then later on, as you get to the galleries, the portfolios, those images could be watermarked. Again, I'm totally on the fence. I'm curious what you guys think about this in chat. Let me know. All right, we're going to keep scrolling down here. Now, there are a lot of images in here, and what I would say is that whenever you're building a site, right, your goal for your homepage is to catch people's attention, to show your skill as a photographer, but we don't want them hanging out here for 20 minutes scrolling through all of the photos. We want this homepage to grab their attention and just say, hey, I am a skilled photographer. I do the type of photography you're looking for. Move on through my site to learn more about me, and hopefully leading them to booking you, right? So there are a lot of images on here. I would definitely consider culling these down to the best of your best, right? If you're in an elevator with somebody and you have 10 seconds to show them a handful of images to try and convince them to hire you as a photographer, what 10 images are you going to show them, right? And that is what I would show on my homepage. But beautiful images. I think that they're beautiful. Let's keep scrolling down here and just seeing what we're getting into down here. Okay, so down here, we do finally get into location information down here. Now, again, with there being so many photos on the website, I had to scroll quite a bit to see that information. All right, and so that's definitely something that you're going to want to think about there. Do you want people having to scroll that far to see that information? Culling those images should bring that information up closer to the top, and your visitors would not have to scroll so much to find it. The other thing too is, while we're down here, the search bar is showing. Are you optimizing your images for clients to search on your website? Do you want people to come to this search bar and search for things? If you don't, or if you're not sure, I would turn this off. Let's not get people confused. Let's get them going directly where they want to go. Now, a couple of things before we kind of move on from the homepage. I do see there are some inconsistent watermarks here as well. Some of them are really large. Some of them are a little bit different than the others. So just making sure that things are consistent. Again, my biggest hang up on this homepage is just the amount of time that I have to scroll and the number of images. I would definitely consider culling this down, but I think you have some beautiful photos on here. Just maybe I can't even say it right. I would definitely cull these down just a little bit to make this a little bit less information for people to see here on the homepage. But let's go ahead. Let's jump over to your portfolio. All right. And hey guys, while you're watching this, if you want a chance to have your site reviewed, make sure that you are submitting your sites in the link in the description below. And I think Katie threw that link out in the chat as well, because that third site is going to be one of your guys that's watching live. All right. Okay, so here we are on the portfolio, and there's definitely some things that I'm going to recommend here. Okay, so first of all, you have your guestbook feature turned on, and there's 0 guestbook entries. I personally usually like to turn the guestbook off entirely, but especially, right, if there's 0 guestbook entries, nobody wants somebody to go to look at a portfolio, see guestbook entries, and see that at 0. So if you want to leave this feature on, first of all, you want to make sure that you have it set up to where you have to approve any post in the guest book, because otherwise it's just going to become kind of a collection for spam. 2, if you're going to leave this on, let's get some friends in here leaving you some entries, some reviews, some shout outs, so that when a visitor comes to your site, they don't see 0 guestbook entries here, right? That's not what we want people to see. When people come here, if you're showing this, we want this to have a number up here, not be 0. Now, the next thing that I'm going to point out is that when we clicked on portfolio, we were dropped into the portfolio group. So if you've just created a Zenfolio account, a lot of times we'll ask you what type of photography you do, and then we'll create galleries for each type of photography, and they're dropped into this little folder that is in your kind of over on the left hand side of there. You guys will probably see it. And then what we'll do by default is your portfolio link will link to that folder. Now that's just kind of a simple, quick setup. I don't recommend leaving it set up that way. For your portfolio, guys, you want to utilize that drop-down menu and make the navigation between the different portfolios as quick and easy as possible. Because if I'm a visitor and I'm here and I want to look at all of your different portfolios, watch how many times I have to click through to get back and forth. So I have to click here to go and see this shoot. And I'm not even sure what I'm looking at. It just looks like a wedding shoot. All right, and now I'm seeing the title up here. But now I'm looking at this, and then if I want to go back and view a different portfolio, I have to go all the way back to the top, click back on portfolio again right up there, and then choose a different one. And that navigation gets really, I don't know the word I'm looking for, really tiresome after doing that a couple of times. And so you can turn this into a drop down that will link to specific photos or specific galleries, right? So rather than having to click up here, click on a gallery, then go back up here and click on another gallery, I can simply hover over this and go directly into these portfolio galleries. Definitely would recommend setting it up that way. Now, speaking of your portfolios, this one looks like it may be a client shoot. I'm not sure. I'm a little confused by it. Let's go ahead. These other ones, though, these do look like maybe they are actual portfolios. So let's go take a look at your portraiture. And, all right, so we're going in here, and we're just going to take a look. Let's go down here. All right, and you guys, if you ever see these spinning wheels, it means that your preview images are generating. If the images in your gallery are new, if you recently uploaded them, then sometimes, depending on the amount of photos that you're uploading, those preview images can take a few seconds to generate. And that's typically what that means, is that your preview images are generating. So maybe this is a new gallery that we're looking at, or there's some new images. Now there are quite a few portrait images in here. So I would definitely consider culling these down. Maybe your best 10 to 15 images. The other thing too, if we go back up here to the top, is that, you're not utilizing your gallery captions, right? I talk about this a lot on site reviews. Gallery captions are one of the most underutilized features, in my opinion, in Zenfolio. And that lets you have a little block of text up here that talks about you, whatever you wanted to say, right? So the important thing is you put in there, hey, I am a portrait photographer servicing this area. Maybe even say things like, I like to do portrait shoots at this specific place or this specific place. But then the kicker is you want to make sure that you have a call to action in there. So you're talking about what you do, you're telling people a little bit about yourself, and then you're saying, hey, if you want to talk about doing a session, or if you want to contact me, click here. You're giving them a call to action. And all of that would be right up here at the top, right in front of their face where they can see it. So make sure that you guys are utilizing those gallery captions. All right, let's click on an image. Let's just see what happens when we're clicking on this photo. Now this is opening up to a photo page, and you guys can see it's taking a little bit to load. I think my internet's being just a little bit slow. But for your portfolios, I would probably think about having that open up to dim the lights mode. And then the other thing too is there are a lot of elements here on these images. So when I'm hovering over these, you're going to see these social media icons down here, and then you're seeing this sequence number. These are things that I would recommend that you hide. There's not really a reason to have these in your portfolio. They're kind of distracting. The other thing too is I do see that the select photos button is showing here. So I'm kind of left wondering, like, as a visitor, what do I need to select photos for in your portfolio? Is there something I'm going to be doing with them? I would probably turn this off. I do like that you have the share button set up here. This makes it really easy if people want to share this portfolio out to their social media. Now, since we're talking about that share button, don't worry, it doesn't take your images out of the gallery. What that does is that shares a link to this gallery on their social media pages. So they're going to be driving traffic from their followers to you, and that's a good thing. So I like having that share button on. The slideshow button, I think that's fine to have in a portfolio. I'm not a big slideshow fan, but that doesn't mean that other people are not. I don't have them on my portfolio, but that's kind of a personal preference. Okay. We got 3 minutes, 46 seconds left. Let's go check out your client galleries really quick. I just want to see where this is going. And guys, what do you guys think about having client galleries linked from your site menu on your site? Personally, I don't like having this showing because I don't want people to try to get in and access it. I don't want to confuse visitors. Basically, client galleries are for clients, and I'm directly emailing them their gallery links. But how do you guys do it in chat? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think about this. All right, so client galleries, and then right now we are being asked to register the view of the photos. I'm not sure where this is going. My best guess is that after we put in a name and an email address, we're going to land on the client's galleries folder, and then hopefully the galleries inside of that folder are password protected. Okay. I'm not going to do this part. I'm not going to jump in here because I'm not sure what's in there. I don't know if it's something that should be hidden or shouldn't be seen. So that's something you might want to come back at and take a look at and check out. Do you really need this up here? Or are you directly emailing your clients their galleries? Let's jump over to this. What you say. That's an interesting. Is that, let's see, what you say. Okay, so this is your guest book. And it looks like you have some people that have put information in the guest book actually. So today you had a comment. This is awesome. Nice. Let's see. Thank you for the lovely photos of our little girls. So very, very cool. You actually have a guest book that's actually being used by people who are leaving you comments and putting stuff on here. So I think this is really cool. This is fine. I'm not seeing any spam yet, which that tells me that you are moderating these and that you're keeping on watch on, and I think that's great. I was a little confused by the what you say title, but maybe that's just me. But I think this is cool. This is one of the few times when I've seen a guest book done right, and I think that it's working out really well. Let's check out your About Me page really quick. I know we're running out of time, so guys, if you guys are watching live, throw a number in the chat. 1 through 48, and that's going to be the next site that we review, the first number that I see. All right, hey Katie, so we've got a nice photo up here of Katie. I love that you have a photo. I see so many about pages that don't have an about photo, and that right out the gate leaves me confused. Like, do you not want your clients to know what you look like? Like, that makes that first meeting a little awkward if they're not quite sure what you're looking like. So I would always recommend making sure that you keep a fresh about photo up here. Definitely don't use your photo from high school, or if it's been 10, 15, 20 years, you probably want to update that about photo. I'm always going to advocate for about video. So if you can record a video talking about yourself, sharing why you love what you do, what it's like to work with you, anything like that, it's really nice to let your personality come across in those about videos. And that way people can really get a sense of who you are and what it's like to work with you. All right, let's see if I can get one more page in. Let's go check out your blog, Katie, and see what that looks like. All right, going over to the blog. Let's see if my internet's going to play with us today. All right, here we go. So blog post February 20th, or February 2020. But then this says March 1st, 2020. So we have a fresh blog post this month. That is bonus points for you. Great job keeping that up to date. And then let's just check out the rest of this blog. February 18th, February 7th. Looks like you are staying on top of your blog. Great job there. I think you've got a great start to your site. Just a few things that I kind of pointed out, going back and checking those out, but wonderful, wonderful site. Beautiful images. I love your photos. So thank you so much, Katie, for sending us that site. All right, let's see. Let me check on you guys here in chat. So it looks like the first number that I see is the number 2 from Joaquin. So Joaquin, I'm going to grab that number 2 site and see which site that is. And then you guys next, the next review that we do after this one will be one of you guys from chat. So if you have not submitted your site yet, make sure that you get it thrown in that link. Now don't try and cheat and throw your site in there a whole bunch. I have it set up to void any duplicates, but if you haven't put your site in there yet, make sure that you get it put in there so that there's a chance that we will review your site. All right, let's go ahead and grab this number 2 really quick here and see what site we have to check out now. All right. I have no idea what's going to pop up, so fingers crossed it's nothing too crazy. All right, there we go. Hey, who was on the live stream? Was it a live stream? It was. Who was on the Site Review Showdown when we had some not so appropriate images pop up on the Site Review? Were any of you guys hanging out with me when that happened? That was pretty funny. If you weren't, you guys missed me blush. It was pretty funny. All right, so here we are on I'm not going to say it right, ktphotography.gallery. So that is the final site, or the final backlog site, and then we're going to get started next with your guys' site from today. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on this review. Let me get my review time going, and we're going to start right here on the homepage. So first of all, guys, that site address is ktphotography.com, and I like the use of this layout. You don't see a lot of this full screen with the left-hand menu layout, and quite frankly, I'm glad that a lot of people don't use it because it's kind of annoying unless it's done really well. One of the things I don't like about it is that when you move on through the rest of the site, that left-handed navigation is only available on the homepage. So as you progress through the site, that whole navigation to your visitors change completely. With that being said, I think it works really well here the way you have it set up. I'm seeing some beautiful images. I love this logo. I love the colors that you have, and it looks like you have a really well thought out site menu here. So if we just kind of go down and take a look, we've got galleries, real estate, wedding, events, aerial. So really nicely set up. So I love the way that it looks. Let's go down here and see you've got social media turned on. Now again, here is that search thing down here. So if you guys can't see this, let me raise that up. Here is the search setup right here. And, you know, I always say this, but if you are not optimizing your photos for search, if you're not designing this site to be searched by visitors, then I would probably remove this, because the last thing you want is people going there and getting confused by that that search bar and thinking, oh, are my photos going to show up in search? Like, so it's something that you really want to be intentional with. So I like to always point that out. So far, I'm seeing some great images, not seeing too many photos. I know we've already cycled back through it. It looks like your primary focus is on real estate photography. That's coming out really strong in this. And the one thing that I'm not sure of is where are you located? I'm not seeing any kind of location information here. Now, on this particular homepage layout, you can set your welcome message to show, and it will show like over here somewhere. And that is a great place to add that location information, that right there in that welcome message showing like down here somewhere. And it's just a nice way to say, hey, I service this area, and immediately on the homepage, I know, hey, this is a photographer that I can hire. They work in my area. I don't have to worry about it. All right, but let's keep moving on. Let's go to galleries and let's check out your real estate. So I'm getting so one of the things I think that you have done amazing on that homepage is you've really pushed that you're a real estate photographer. Like, I didn't have to read anything. The images were focused on it. And then what I love is that first site menu item in your galleries was real estate photography. So I tell people this all the time when it comes to your portfolio and your portfolio organization, right? Whatever you want to do the most of, make sure that you have that up in the top of your drop down there. Okay, so make sure that you have that up in the top drop down, your primary focus as a photographer, make sure that that is put up at the top. So that's the first thing that people see. So I think you've done a great job there. You are using your gallery captions here, which it looks like we're actually in a group. So if I kind of scroll down here, this is a little strange. We're actually in a group because it says galleries right here. And then if I scroll down, there are different, it looks like maybe different property galleries. And if we just keep scrolling, they're kind of different property galleries. So if I'm a visitor just wanting to see your portfolio, the one thing that I'm looking for is I'm looking to find the best of your work, right? The best of the best. And so I definitely recommend making sure that it's easy for somebody that's coming to your site, looking to hire you as a photographer. Make it really easy for them to see it. Okay, I can go here and I can see their best 10 images. I can see the diversity that they do. Make that easy, because right now I'm looking at galleries and I wouldn't know that they were galleries except that it says it up here. And if I kind of scroll down, has these property names here. Now we're going to click on these in a second and just take a look. All right, and so now when I click on them, I'm getting into this odd space. So it looks like we have something in the header that's not loading. My guess is maybe some custom coding or something. But then I also have to register to see the photos. And so immediately I am a little confused, right? I was hoping I was coming in here to see a portfolio, and already I'm like, well, is this something I'm supposed to be seeing? I have to register and I have to enter a password. So for me, this flow, if I was a visitor, I would be a little weirded out by it, I'm going to be honest. So I think you need to have a true portfolio where people can go in and browse some photos without hitting this right out the gate. So let's go back up. Now, the other thing too, I want you to notice is once I clicked on that, I have lost the site navigation entirely. So I have to use the back button in my browser to get back to where I can navigate to something else. Or I could use the cookies, or not the cookies, but the breadcrumbs right here. But again, I'm losing that site navigation. So for me, that's a little strange. Let's go ahead and go back. I would definitely consider leaving your header menu showing to make that navigation easy for people visiting. All right, let's go check out some more galleries really quick. So we're gonna hover back over this. Let's go to weddings and let's take a look here. All right, so weddings kind of the same way, you guys. If you can't really tell, I think this image up top is really cool, but we are totally losing the site navigation. It may be down here in the bottom. Let me go check and see if it's down here. So it's not down here either. So I am totally losing your website navigation when I click on these galleries. For me, that's a little strange. I would like to see your header showing. That way I can get back to the other galleries, because right now you're really losing the benefit of having that site menu drop down set up. When I'm landing on these galleries and then having to use my back button, then you're losing the benefit of actually going through and having set up that site menu drop down item. So we're going to go back and let's keep taking a look right here. All right, you guys watching live, somebody let me know what the color is of this logo right here. Black or green? First person to throw the correct color, not the correct color, but first person to throw green in the chat, I'm going to send you guys $25 print credit. So let me know in the chat. All right, we're going to keep moving on. We're going to go down and check out another gallery down here. Let's see, food and restaurants. Let's see if all of these galleries are the same. Because if they're all the same, I'm going to have the same feedback, right? Now this one here, we are keeping the site menu right up here. So this is nice. This is a lot better. I can navigate. I'm not getting lost. So I can navigate back and forth. This is much easier to navigate through. So I would definitely go through, check out the rest of your galleries. Make sure that you have this navigation up here, because it's much simpler when this navigation is here. Beautiful photos though. I'm getting hungry right now. I just had a salad for lunch, and these burgers right here are making me hungry for sure. Beautiful photos. Let's go down here and take a look. Again, though, I feel like I'm getting into a place where I'm not sure I'm going to be able to progress past these, because these are probably, again, client galleries. But let's take a look. All right. So this one we actually were able to get into. I love that you're utilizing the gallery captions. There are a lot of distracting elements up here that, to be quite honest, I don't really know if I would have those showing. I would probably suggest turning a lot of those off right up here. So you can hide your guest book, you can hide a lot of this stuff. Really, we just want to be able to see the photos, right? Especially if this is your portfolio, you just need people to be able to see your work. So let's just kind of scroll down here and take a look. And one of the things that I haven't pointed out yet today, and I want to see if maybe this site has it, let's scroll down and let's see if we have some categories and keywords in here. So we're going to scroll down all the way to the bottom. All right, and you guys can see this, right? If I'm a visitor and I'm looking through your portfolio and I'm trying to see the type of food photography that you do, and I'm looking and there are lots of photos, this is taking me a while to navigate, right? I just need to go somewhere where I can quickly see the best food photos that you've taken, so I can be like, yes, this is the photographer for me. Let me move forward with hiring them or not. Now, another thing that I'm noticing here is we have an inconsistent logo right here. So this one is black and red. The homepage was black and green. So for branding consistency, you might consider changing that up a little bit. All right, let's scroll down here. Let's go all the way to the bottom. And again, my internet is not keeping up, but let's take a look here at your categories and keywords. Now, your categories and keywords are showing. Great job there. I'm going to give you some bonus points for that. Nice having that showing. And you've actually gone through and taken the time to categorize and keyword your galleries. So that stuff is so important, you guys, for SEO. If you are not familiar with how to do this, there are great videos on our channel that talk about optimizing your galleries for search. It'll show you how to keyword your galleries, how to make sure that it's showing all of that good stuff. So good job there. Let's go ahead. Let's see. Let's get back to another site menu item. And where did your site header go? Are you currently editing your page? Like, what's going on? All right, let's take a look at your aerial and video. Actually, let's go check out your blog really quick. We got like 4 minutes and 36 seconds left. Let's check out the blog. All right, last blog post looks like it's April 12th, 2019. April 5th, 2019, March 29th. So we're getting to be about a year out from your last blog post. Let me read this really quick. I hope to post everything and anything here. Okay, so this is telling people that you hope to post things here, and then we're getting here and we're seeing that your last blog post was about a year out, almost a year. We're getting pretty close to being a year. So you might want to think about this. If you're not going to post consistently, do you even need to leave this up on your site? I'm not telling you to delete your blog posts, because those can be good traffic drivers to your website. What I'm saying is, does this need to be a site menu item if you're not going to constantly update it? If you're not going to be able to do like a blog post at least once a month, I would probably consider removing this, putting your focus and your attention on something else that you can consistently focus on. All right, let's go back. And again, not every page has that site header menu, so I'm having to use the back button on my browser, which I'm actually doing the back swipe on my mouse, but just a little odd. There are definitely going to be visitors who are going to struggle with losing that navigation. Let's check out your about page really quick. All right, here is Darcel. People need photographers. You need a photographer. Okay, lots of good text information here. I think you've got a great headshot here. Looks like there's plenty of information here for people can read. Quite simply, click here to fill out the requested information, and I will be in touch with you personally within what I'm sure within what I'm sure you'll class as a very short period of time. Okay, I might work on the wording a little bit. That might be the way that my browser is translating the site. But I might work on the wording there a little bit. But other than that, I think you've got a nice about page here. I'm always going to mention about videos until I start seeing them, and then I'm going to freak out when you guys start doing about videos. That's going to be awesome. But I'm always going to advocate for about videos. They're just really, really great. Okay, let's go and check out your contact page really quick, and then maybe we'll have time to get back to a couple more of those galleries. Let's see. So this is just the built-in contact page. Really easy to set up. You don't have to do any coding. This is actually provided by Zenfolio for you. So when you create your account and you enter that information, this contact page is kind of created for you. It's really easy. If you ever need to update any of the information in your contact page, you can just head over to, you just basically hover over your name up in the top right corner and go to account and then contact information, and all of that stuff is there that you can go in and customize. So perfectly fine using the built-in contact page. Let's see if we can take a look at one more gallery before I run out of time. Let's go here, and I want to see your, fingers crossed this is safe. Let's see your studio work. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna leave it right here and point out a couple of things. You do have this gallery caption right here. I love that you have this information here. One of the things you might think about doing is that this link that you have set up, or any links that you put in your gallery caption, can actually be hyperlinks. There's a hyperlink tool where you write your gallery captions for people to click on. I would probably consider getting rid of the visitors, the number of photos, and all of this stuff here. There's not really a reason for it to be there. It's a little distracting. Really, we want people to focus on your images. So I do want to say, I think you've got a pretty nice website. For me, the biggest issue is I feel like there's a huge lack of an actual portfolio where I can go and quickly and easily browse the best of your work. You have some absolutely beautiful photos. You have a lot of good information in here. Just for me, it's kind of that feeling of actually not having a portfolio that's really easy for me to quickly find and browse, and that's what's kind of hindering me on this website. So I would definitely think about that and maybe readjusting how you have things set up. All right, but thank you so much for submitting that site. Hopefully it was helpful. All right, guys, now it's the time you guys have been waiting for. Hopefully you guys all have your sites in the doc there. So let's see, I'm going to just randomly pick a number over here, and we're going to get a live site pulled up here. Let me get a swig of tea though, you guys, because these Site Review Tuesdays are like Site Review Showdowns, and they are brutal. It's like I just non-stop talk for an entire hour. Let me catch up on some of the comments you guys got going on in chat here. A lot of people talking in chat. Hopefully you guys are all staying safe. We had a bout with the flu in my house last week. I didn't catch it, but my wife and my kids, or my son did. But I was just drinking a lot of vitamin C, eating a lot of oranges, eating a lot of fruit. And I think maybe that's what kind of kept it away from me. But hopefully you guys are out there staying safe. And just staying away from the flu and everything else, and making sure that you're conscious of your hand washing and all of that good stuff, especially with all the crazy stuff that's going on. All right, guys. So let me grab this site here really quick. So the live site that we're going to be reviewing is going to be, let's get this opened up and let's take a look here. All right. So who's this going to be? Mkt Photography and Events. So Mkt Photography and Events, that's the site that we're going to be reviewing for the third and final site. Mkt Photography, thank you for hanging out with us today and submitting your site. We're going to get started on that review here in just a second. I think that is Megan. Is that Megan? That is Megan. All right, so we're going to get started on this review here right now. Now, after we finish this up, we will have a short amount of time for some questions. Maybe it depends on how this goes, how fast I can go through it. Well, I'm going to be giving it 15 minutes, so we'll have a little bit of time for questions. So if you have questions, try to get those submitted, and I will see what I can answer in that time period. Let me be quiet now and get started on this review. All right, so Megan, I think you've got a nice start here. So a couple of things. First of all, it looks like it's kind of left a little bit at the default settings of whenever you first go in and you create a Zenfolio account. And we definitely love having it to where it's easy to get a website going, and it's quick and as fast as possible. But we definitely want you to come back and customize some things. Okay, so what we're doing is we're actually going to look at here and a couple of things here. So if you guys notice on this right here, we're seeing occasionally it's going to a portrait orientated image, and that portrait orientated images have some little gray bars, just like this right here. Now, this is a really good setup to use if you want to show a mix of portrait orientated images and of landscape orientated images. But the one thing I would suggest that you do is go in here and edit this slideshow so that the background is transparent. So when it comes to these images are not showing that awkward gray box. Now, preferably, I like it when the images in the slideshow are all the same size. So what I would probably suggest that you do is I would probably suggest that you go in and either remove those portrait orientated images, or if those are images that you really are fond of and you really want to show here on the homepage, then what I would suggest doing is going in there and Photoshop and getting these images and maybe making them collages, all the same size, so that when this slides through, we are not seeing this weird kind of gray box. We're not seeing weird spacing and all of that, and it's just going to improve the look of your site here. Now, the other thing too is I'm seeing a lot of images here. So there are a lot of photos here. This homepage slideshow is really what you are going to want to show the best of your work, right? So if you have 10 photos you can show somebody, those are the 10 photos that you want showing here. And Mr. Tim Hoffman, if I could get you to shoot an email to robert@zenfolio.com, that way I can take care of you on that print credit. I thank you so much for hanging out with us in there. I think it was Tim, right? Was it Tim? So yeah, so if I can get you to shoot me an email, robert@zenfolio.com, that way I can get you to take care of you for that print credit. But back to your site here, I would definitely recommend maybe some customizing on this homepage slideshow. So one of the things that you want to do as well is just go check out the video. There's a video that talks about customizing your homepage. It will show you how to do a lot of these different options that I'm talking about. All right. Up here as well, one of the things that I would definitely think about is maybe uploading a custom logo. So far, I think every other site that we reviewed, you've seen a custom logo here. And it just makes the site look nice. It gives it that really nice professional look. So uploading a custom logo, if you're not sure how to do it in Zenfolio, if you look on our YouTube channel, there is a logos video that goes through the whole process. We'll give you suggestions and all kinds of stuff. So definitely check that out. Now, let's go down here and take a look down here. So you have your contact information showing here. You have your about page. Again, this is kind of one of the default settings, like when you create your Zenfolio account, it kind of has this stuff showing. Now, I'm not going to tell you to hide this stuff. I think having the location information in here is fine. I would maybe consider going and checking out some of the other layouts that are available that will show this information a little bit differently and in a better presentation. Not that there's anything wrong with this, but I would definitely think about going and checking out some of the other layouts as well. I love that you have your about photo here and your information here. It's really nice. That's going to be helpful for your SEO, but just maybe changing the information that's presented a little bit differently. Okay, all right, so we're gonna go and let's check out your, oh, we don't, so this is all we have. So let's check out your contact. All right, so let's take a look at your contact page. This is the built-in contact page. So this is gonna be Zenfolio's built-in contact page. Perfectly fine to use that. Let's go check out your about page. I'm guessing this about page is going to be pretty much just like the information that was showing at the front side of the site. So we're going to take a look down here. Lots of good information. Now let's see, is there any information letting me know where you're at? Located in Dallas, Fort Worth, right here. I see that. And then on the home page as well, it was in your contact information as well. So I think it's perfectly fine. Great contact page. Let's check out your blog. All right, so we've got a blog post here. I'm not seeing any blog dates. Looks like we've got 2 blog posts. Let's check those out really quick. Some absolutely beautiful photos here on this, though. I love figure skating. I think that's a gorgeous sport. This was March 3rd. Beautiful photos. Let's take a look here. So definitely when you're creating that blog post, I would think about maybe adding a little bit more content. A single photo with a sentence from here is a little bit too little bit of content from the site for the blog post. So what I would consider doing, maybe a couple more photos, maybe just a little bit more information about this, you can always link to the event. So if this was a particular event that you photographed, why don't you reach out to the director of that event and say, hey, I want to do a blog post. I want to link to you guys from my blog post. Maybe after you do it, send them the blog post, and then maybe see if they'll give you a link back to your site. So that way you have links back and forth to your site. You have traffic going both ways, and Google and Bing and Yahoo and all of the search engines really like that. It's really good for your SEO. So that's something that you can do in your blog post as well as just throughout the rest of your website. All right, let's go back. Let's check out your next blog post down here. Let me grab some tea really quick, you guys. All right, let's see here. All right, and this looks like it's kind of just a little bit of information about hiring somebody to photograph your event. I'm not sure I would put this as a blog post. This feels more like a custom page content where maybe you can say something like frequently asked questions or why you should hire a photographer. For me, this doesn't really feel like a blog post. Now, if you wanted to do if you wanted to use this content and recycle it as a blog post and maybe do something like the benefits of hiring a professional photographer for your event, and then maybe if you can show some contrast of some events where they didn't have a professional photographer, or maybe just show some of the photos where you've been at an event that you've photographed, maybe get some client feedback, some testimonials, that kind of stuff would be great for a blog post as well. But this feels like kind of like a frequently asked questions thing. So I might consider changing that up to be a custom page and putting that up on your site menu. All right. Let's go up here and let's see, is this your portfolio? Is this where we can actually see some photos? Okay, so this is linking to a site outside of Zenfolio, so I can't really review that when that site is outside of Zenfolio. But you are definitely going to want to come in here and make sure that you are updating this as well. So let's check out your social media icons. Let's go up here and make sure that these are working. A lot of times, whenever we first create an account, we don't go in here and we don't check things out. We don't do reality checks. We don't make sure that all of our links are still pointing to the right things. And so let's take a look and make sure that these are all pointing to the right thing here. Okay, so that's going to your Pinterest. Great job getting that set up. Let's check this out. I don't have a Twitter account, so I don't even know if I can see this, but that looks like it's going to the right thing as well. Let's see, Instagram. Instagram is working, so nice on Instagram. And let's go check out Facebook really quick and see if the Facebook link is working. And that's going to your Facebook page as well. So all of those links are working. Great setup there. I think that's perfectly fine. There's a lot you can do to this site, though. It looks like you kind of just opened it up and then haven't really done anything to customize it. So definitely coming back, looking at this custom logo, adding a custom logo. And your navigation, right? Like if I'm a visitor to this site, I'm totally lost as to what I'm supposed to do. Where am I going to see the best of your work? Where am I going to see different examples of the type of photography that you do? What kind of information? I'm totally lost on this site navigation here as well. All right. And there's also, so if you guys didn't hear that, there is a soundtrack on this slideshow as well. I always caution people against soundtracks. If you have soundtracks on your website and they automatically play, a lot of the search engines now are kind of at war with autoplay content like that. If you think about when you're browsing the web, right, a lot of times we're listening to our own music. I've got Spotify up, I'm listening to music. And the first thing that I do when I hit a website and it has a soundtrack start playing is I try to find where that music is coming from and turn it off. So personally, I usually almost always will recommend not to have a soundtrack on your slideshow for that reason. And then the other thing too as well is if you are going to have a soundtrack on your slideshow, not saying that this song you didn't have the license to use, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that we have a responsibility as professionals to make sure that we are extending professional courtesy to other artists. So just like we as photographers are artists and we would be angry if somebody was screenshotting and stealing our images and using them for commercial purposes without us licensing them those images for commercial purposes. Musicians are artists too, and we want to make sure that we are extending the same professional courtesy to them that we want other people to extend to us. Now, I'm not saying that song wasn't yours at all. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was one of the free songs that come with Zenfolio. I'm just saying if people are going to use the soundtracks, if you're going to use those soundtracks, make sure that you have the license to use the song that's there. That's all I'm saying. Okay, sorry about that rant. Let's see, what else can I talk about on this site? So let's go back and let's go to your About page. Yeah, just like Craigslist is saying, I hit mute tab right on. Oh, that's a good one. So you actually mute the tab. I love that because a lot of times I can't even find where the music is coming from. And so I just close the tab. All right, let's see here. So let's keep going. So we've talked about this. Now there is a little section down here that says contact us to provide services for your competition. One of the things that you can do here is you could actually turn this into a call to action. Like right now, you're just telling me what to do. Help me do that a little bit easier, right? Make this a link to your contact page. So when I'm reading this, as easy as it is for us who navigate sites all day to come up here and hit the contact button, how much easier would it be if they were just like, oh, contact us, and then click here, and maybe that takes them right to the contact page. So use those text editor places where you can add hyperlinks, add those hyperlinks, and make it easier for people to do what you want them to do, so that when we're reading this, we can click right on this. Now, I notice in here you're talking about some of the products that you provide. Another thing that would be nice on this site as well is if you set up a products page where you had some images that showed examples of your products, right? That shows the different packages, that shows the phone cases, all of that stuff, so that you don't have to just type it here, but you could have a little link here that says click here to view examples of my products that I offer. I'm assuming those are coming through Zenfolio's integrated vendors, and I think some of those even provide some product photos that you can look at as well. Furthermore, Photos says, I have background music on the webinar that I can live without. Can I turn that off? If the music bothers you guys, I got a mute button right here. I can mute it for you. You just have to tell me in chat, hey, your music is getting on my nerves. Turn it down, and I will be more than happy to turn that music off for you guys. So if you want me to turn the music off, if you want me to discontinue the music for future live streams, throw a 1 in the chat and say, yes, turn the music off, and I'll do that. Next time, we'll just get rid of it entirely. If not, I like it because it kind of helps me as I'm going through these. But let's see, what else can I talk about on this? So again, the biggest thing here is that I feel like this site is just get started, right? I feel like there's not a lot that's been done here. I think that there's a lot more that you can do. You can really go in here and customize it. You can really go in here and really update it. There's so much that Zenfolio offers, the galleries, the custom pages, all that stuff. There's a lot that you could really come in here and do to the site. And I just feel like it's kind of been left the way it was when it was started and not gone back and revisited. So definitely want to encourage you to go in there, jump in there, see the tools that we offer, play around with it. There are a lot of things that you can do with your site here. Let's see. And furthermore, Photos says, thanks. All right. So I guess I'm assuming that's a you want me to turn it down kind of thing. I don't know. All right, let's see, guys. 30 seconds left. Megan, I'm sorry. I don't have a lot more that I can really say about this site. I feel like I'm missing so many different things in here. I wasn't able to navigate to a portfolio or any of that. But, I think what you got started, like I said, is just kind of the default. And I want to see you come in here, play around with it, and see what you can do. See what you can do with the site. Beautiful images, though, for sure. Absolutely beautiful images. All right, guys, that is it for the site reviews. Thank you guys so much to everybody who submitted the sites. I really appreciate it. We have like 6 minutes left, so let me see if I can at least answer one question for you guys. Let me go grab a question really quick from the chat here. So let's see. Let me grab a question. Okay, so let's see. I got a question from, where did it go? Here it is. There we go. Oh no, my thing is messing up. Okay, I'm going to read the question. Maybe the little question button will fall down in a second. This is a question from Carrie White. She says, how to remove the social media icons from images. Let's see. How do we remove the social media icons from images? So I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. Are you trying to hide the social media icons from your site header up at the top? If that's what you're trying to do, if you're just trying to hide those social media icons, you can do that in customized view. So I think that's what you're asking, Carrie. Let me go and I'll show you really quick. So if you go into website right here, and I like to do this in a multiple tab, so I'm going to right click, open up customize website in a new tab. That way I can just kind of hop over here like this. And then we are in customized view and I don't have to wait on things to load. I can bounce back and forth really easily. And I don't know if I have any social media icons showing, but if you're talking about the ones that are showing over here, that's going to be in your site header, which if you go down here to site header, you can go to, I think it's under elements. If you go there, you can say social media buttons show or hide right here. Now, if they're showing on your header menu is going to be the menu that you're seeing in your gallery. So when I actually click inside of a gallery and go in here, that's the header menu. Your header menu can show on the home page, but this is also what's showing in your galleries. Now, if you're talking about the little icons that actually show like on the images themselves, which I think maybe that's what you might be talking about. That's going to be in customized view again, but that's going to be, I'll show you where that's at. So if you're in customized view, you're going to go to a gallery, go to options, then you're going to go to thumbnails, and then right here, you're going to look for social media icons right here. So it's right here in the middle. So let me just turn these on really quick and make sure this is what you're talking about. So I'm going to turn that on, hit apply. I think you're talking about these little guys right here that pop up and hover over these images. If that's the ones you're talking about, all you have to do, again, is go to options, thumbnails, right here in the middle, turn those off, just like this, hit the apply button, and then you can save those or save that as your default. So up at the top, there's a save as default option right here. So you can click that save as default. That will make those the default settings for your gallery, right? So any gallery that is using the default settings will now have those social media icons turned off. And then all you do is publish it to make those changes actually go out live. So hopefully, Carrie, that was the social media icons that you're looking for, and that answers your question there. Okay, let's see. Next question here. Let's see. Sharks408 says, how do I add the favicon in my account? So again, if you hover over website, and this will probably be the last question I can get to. Sorry about this, guys, but let's see if I can get this question answered. So if you hover over website and you go to customize website, down in the bottom left corner, there's going to be a thing that says, I think it says like site settings. You're going to look at down here in the bottom corner right here. You're going to go to site settings. Once you're in site settings, you're going to look for the logo and icons tab right here. And then if you scroll down, you're going to be looking for the web browser icon. This is where you upload that little favicon, and that favicon is the little icon or logo that shows right up here. So that is where you upload that. It's right in there. You just upload your own, choose that option, choose your file, and upload it. I think it's 16 by 16 pixels. Actually, if I click on this little question mark, where did it go? If I click on that little question mark, it'll tell me the exact size right here. Right here. There we go. So I think it says, you can't see it. Let me scroll down. Does it not say it anymore? It used to say, oh, right here we go, 16 by 16 pixels. So you're going to upload it there, apply it, and then publish those changes to go out live to your site. All right, great question. We get that a lot. It's a really cool feature. It just helps people when they're using tabs to know to get back to your site because it has that icon. I would recommend keeping that icon simple, making sure that it's simple and not overcomplicated because they are really small and it can make it hard for people to see and understand and read. All right. All right, you guys. I don't know why my stuff is doing weird things. Thank you guys so much to everybody who hung out with me today on the live stream. I really appreciate you guys. Carrie White, I am Sensational. That's a really cool name. Let's see, Tim Hoffman. We got Philip Reedy hanging out with us. Megan, Catherine Portraits, Craigslist. Joaquin, Tim Hoffman. Who else do I have? If I missed your name, I am sorry. Lynn McEntee. I can't read either today, you guys. Sorry. But hey, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me so much live and coming back week after week. What do you guys think about the new Zenfolio Site Review Tuesday format? Is this much better than the pre-recorded short ones? Do you guys like the long one better? Leave a comment in the video. Let me know. But hey, don't forget, coming up later this week on Thursday is Zenfolio Live, where we're just going to be answering your questions. I'm not sure what we're talking about yet. I'm sure it'll be something really cool. We'll be answering your guys' questions. Make sure you come back and hang out with us for that. It happens on the same time, just on Thursdays, but same time, same place, same bat, same channel. But hey, again, thank you guys so much. Make sure that you are having a good week, that you're staying safe, that you are encouraging people, that you are telling yourself good things, that you're encouraging yourself, and that you are just being a force for positive in this world. I'll see you guys again this Thursday.